Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a holiday Q&A and I'm really excited to do this video with you. I've seen these videos floating around and I think they're fun to watch and to listen to. So if you're interested in this content or further homeschool content, please remember to subscribe and let's get into this video. Okay, since I don't have a huge following on Instagram, I pulled questions from a bunch of other YouTubers and wrote those down on my paper right here. So those are kind of the questions I'm going to be going off of, but if you have other questions you'd like me to answer for next year, put those down in the comments and I'll just kind of keep a running list. And then maybe grab a craft or grab some presents to wrap. I had thought about wrapping presents while I was doing this, but I was like, that's going to be too much and we'll never get through this video if I do that. And so you could be wrapping presents or working on something, a craft, or get a drink you like. I'm just a water person. I just love water. So I just have my water right here. And let's talk about this first question that I wrote down. So it's about favorite traditions or even favorite Christmas traditions. We'll just put it all together as one. And one of my favorite traditions that I've been doing most of our married life is giving treats to neighbors. I've mentioned on here several times that I love to bake and to cook. It is one of my favorite things. I grew up in the kitchen with my mom and my grandma, and around this time of year, my grandma would always make chocolates and candy for people. She used to own a candy shop. And so she would do all that when I was growing up. That was always what it was. Just the kitchen was full of a whole bunch of candies, a whole bunch of chocolates. They'd open all the doors and it would be freezing in the house as they dip everything so that everything would set just right. And I just loved those memories so much. And so I feel like as I got married and started having kids, I wanted to be able to carry on some of those traditions. And I don't make candy. It's not something that is a strong point for me, but I do love to bake and just make a bunch of goodies and I go crazy. And our whole countertops, everything is just full, like our garage is full of treats and everything because it's so cold. So I just use the garage as a freezer, refrigerator as well. And it's just so much fun. And then I don't love delivering them. I am more the behind the scenes person, and then I send my husband and my kids to go deliver them. And so it's just a fun thing that we do, and the neighbors are always wondering, you know, what they're gonna get from me because I just go crazy every single year. So of traditions, I'm not gonna share all of them because we would be here forever and we'd never get through any of these questions, but that one is probably one of my favorites. And then favorite like Christmas foods. I don't know if I have a favorite Thanksgiving food. I do just love mashed potatoes and rolls. I'm not a meat person. And so just mashed potatoes and rolls is really good for me. I just love that. That's really good. And I think this video might come out after Thanksgiving. So that's just FYI. But favorite like Christmas type stuff. I love peppermint. I know that's not a Christmas food, but I love just like minty kind of stuff. So that's one of my favorite, like even cinnamon. So the smells of the holidays are some of my favorite things. And then we usually do, you know, a similar like Thanksgiving dinner for Christmas as well. And so not ham, I don't like ham, but my family all loves ham. But mashed potatoes and rolls, again, I love those things. I love pies, and this one's gonna seem a little bit funny to you because I don't usually do this for Christmas, but occasionally. I love key lime pie. And I know people don't generally think of that, especially in a cold Utah climate when it comes to Thanksgiving. But I love making key lime pie for Thanksgiving or sometimes for Christmas if we decide to do pies for Christmas as well, because it's just one of my favorite. And my oldest son loves citrus as well. And so if you want it to be a Thanksgiving or Christmas dessert, it totally can be. So just make whatever you feel like. But that's one of my favorite. One of my favorite like nostalgic foods would be strawberry rhubarb pie, just because my grandma always made it around Christmas and New Year's every single year growing up, and I don't make it. I need to. I just haven't. And I haven't had it in years because we didn't live even remotely close to family. And then my grandma passed away last year, and so I haven't done it, but it's I just loved strawberry rhubarb pie. It's one of my favorite pies. So as far as treats or food, that's how that goes. And I try on Christmas Day, actually we don't really have too many sweet treats that day because both of my boys' birthdays are the week after, and then this baby is due like 2 weeks after Christmas as well. We just like to plan it that way apparently. And so we're already having treats for them and stuff. So I just really don't love a lot of sugary like breakfast foods for Christmas. We've done biscuits and gravy, which I really love, and things like that. Just try to keep it a little bit more savory because it's already, you know, you're already so done with sweets. I'm like, whoop, you feel like you're just waddling around with all the sweets. And then all their birthdays come right after Christmas. So then more sweets come after that. Another question that I saw come up somewhat frequently was extended family presents, and I don't do them. Neither me nor my husband do them. Both of our families are relatively small. So growing up, it was always just like me, my parents, my brother, my sister, and my grandparents, like just on my mom's side. And that was it. Like basically, you know, I had a few cousins we'd interact with and stuff, but for the most part, that was all of us. And as I've gotten older, occasionally, you know, we'll toss around the idea, should we do like trade family names with siblings and stuff and do something? But I'm of the mindset, I don't want you just to make a list of things you want and send it to me and that be the exchange. Okay. If I was going to do sibling gifts or extended family gifts, I want it to be meaningful, but also not expensive. You know, something you really have to think through and isn't just like, oh, this was on your list and so I got it for you. I might as well go buy it myself, because that doesn't show that you know anything about me. And I feel like that's more meaningful than anything. And so as we've occasionally been around family for Christmas or have lived a little bit closer now, I would prefer having experiences with them, like going bowling. We did that one year and went out to dinner, you know, stuff like that. Just things that are us just getting together and having fun. I'm like, I don't need a gift. I'd rather us have experiences together throughout the holidays. And that's just way more meaningful to me. So I've always just kind of nixed the idea of extended family gifts because I just don't think it's worthwhile. I think it's a waste of money and time if it's not going to be meaningful and if you don't know the people really well to get something that's meaningful to them. So that's my little soapbox about that. And for a long time, we just did not have money either to do that kind of thing. So it just wasn't on my radar. I was like, no, that's not an option. So that's also something, if you don't have the money, just tell people no, okay? Or get them something very simple that you can make, write them a cute card. You know, you can do a lot of things for cheaper that still shows you're thinking about them, but isn't breaking the bank and doesn't have to be stressful. And then budget amount or number of gifts for kids. It's kind of changed throughout the years, which I feel like I've mentioned in some of my Christmas gift videos last year. But I have now settled upon more of a budget amount. My kids are still young, so as they get older, it might be different, you know, because some of them, as they're teenagers, some gifts get more expensive. Things that they want might be more expensive. So then we might switch to just a set gift amount. So right now it's kind of both. I try to keep within a certain budget for all of them, but also get the same amount of gifts, because since they're so young, if they're not all opening the same amount of gifts, they'll get really mad and upset, and it's just meltdowns on Christmas Day. So I'd rather avoid that and get them things that they can all open the same amount of gifts. And so, you know, because then they take turns and it works out well. So that's what we're doing right now, but I'm sure we'll adapt it as our kids get older, as things are a little bit different. You know, as we're adding another child, things change. So we'll see how it goes. And then what do I hope to get for Christmas? Honestly, me and my husband are the worst when it comes to Christmas gifts and stuff. I am so bad at thinking of things to get, and I get stuff throughout the year when I see it and when I want it. When I'm like, oh, okay, that would be nice, or this is on sale, and I just kind of pick stuff up that way. And so I didn't really grow up in a family that, like, my dad would get a gift for my mom, but it was very much like my mom would be like, this is what I want most of the time, and he would just wrap it, put it under the tree. So it was never like this huge surprise. They were never expensive presents. That's the least thing I want him to do, is go buy something super expensive and give it to me. I don't think it's worth it to do that kind of thing. And so yeah, I don't really have a specific wish list. I kind of have been wanting a nicer watch to keep track of my workouts and exercise and that kind of stuff. I don't want one that's gonna ping me every time I get emails and texts and that kind of stuff. But I would love to keep track of like heart rate and things like that. So I've tossed that idea around. It's just whether or not it's really worth it to me to spend like $150 to $200 on something like that, and if I'll really use it. So really that's the only thing that's kind of in my mind. But other than that, I just get stuff when I see it, when I need it, and then the rest of the time I'm like, I just focus on Christmas for my kids, and that's what I do. And then what is your Christmas decor theme? So I really like farmhouse decor, basically, and just that old like vintagey look. And we have some ornaments that have collected over the years that my kids have made and stuff like that. But I also get some new ones. You know, I love the like buffalo plaid print and stuff like that. So I have several decorations that are like that. And that's kind of how I keep it. I don't know, growing up, we'd alternate between a more traditional tree, like we'd string the popcorn and the cranberries, and make the cinnamon ornaments and all that kind of stuff. And then some years my mom had bought a whole bunch of decorations that after Christmas that were on sale, and she'd decorate it with more maybe elegant, I don't know how elegant it was, but anyways, just more of that kind of thing. And that is also fun. So I guess there's a variety. We have a variety of things going on there, but right now we mostly just do more farmhouse decor type stuff. And then let's see what else we want to talk about, since we don't want this video to be too long. Our tree is artificial. I grew up, most years we'd get a self-cut tree, and it was one of my favorite traditions as a child, because we'd just go up in the mountains. We have a set place we go. It was only open the day after Thanksgiving, and we go up and we cut down trees. You know, you're hiking through the mountains, and it was super fun. But we haven't done that as much, and I still love like artificial. I love self-cut trees. I love the smell of them and everything and the experience associated with them. But I also don't like having to clean up with them after them, and then the worry about them catching on fire, you know, just the extra steps involved. And so we just have an artificial tree, and that's kind of what we've stuck with for right now. So maybe it'll be different eventually, but that's just what we've been doing. And then Christmas music. I enjoy listening to Christmas music more so than sometimes my husband does. But I don't turn it on a ton. I try to remember to, but I don't always remember. But I love, really, like on Sundays and even throughout the week, more Christ-centered Christmas music. But then if not, I love the upbeat Christmas music and just like dancing around or letting my kids dance to Christmas music. I also think that's super fun. So a variety, you know, kind of depending on my mood and what day of the week it is. And then what else do we want to do here? So maybe extended family traditions. So what are some of your extended family traditions? One of the things that I really like, since we've moved closer to family, we're still an hour to 2 hours away from all of our family. But some of the things I like to do, let me get a drink of water because my throat's getting a little dry, is my mom and dad have started doing like a little get together. Like it's just me and my brother and sister and our kids, and they'll do it at their house, and it'll be the week before Christmas usually. And we'll go, and my mom gets like wooden ornaments or ceramic ones from Michael's usually, or Hobby Lobby. And she makes sugar cookies, and my kids will decorate them. And sometimes we give them to people if we dare do that. But then we always decorate ornaments. So those are some of the ornaments that go up on our tree, because we keep them year after year, the ones they decorate at grandma's house. But the thing I really love about it is that she does it like the week or two before Christmas, because honestly, for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I love just being at home. I love just spending that time together, you know, enjoying food together, watching some Christmas movies together, and just relaxing together. I don't like having to be all these places. And then Christmas, it's so fun when my kids open their presents. Like last year, they just spent all day building stuff and creating stuff. And it was so, and we played games together, and it was just so fun. And I really loved that, just kind of more laid back life. And so that's what I love to do on those days. But extended family wise, that's what we kind of do. And then we usually try to get together with my husband's family. It's not always on a set day, but usually, you know, it's a meal, and then they'll give presents to the kids. Usually the kids open them on Christmas. And then we don't open like the big presents from grandparents on the day that we're hanging out as a family. So that's what we do. It's fairly simple. It's very basic, but I really love it. And that's how that's how I like living my life, is very simple and basic. Let's see what else. I don't know if there was very much else. Oh yes. The last thing I was going to mention is, what did my husband and my first Christmas look like? And this was something that, Ashley from Grace and Grit had talked about. And so I was like, oh, this is a fun question. And so when we first got married, you know, we didn't have tons of money. We had money, but not tons of money. And we're like, what are we going to do for Christmas? And so we just kind of set a budget. It was $50. That was what we were going to spend. And so I was like, okay. But I was like, what am I supposed to get? I don't know, you know, and you can't buy like something super crazy or anything, like you blow your budget. And so I can't even remember all the things I got. I'm sure he would remember because he just remembers everything. But, he's an economist. And so I didn't know anything about economics books. I went to Barnes and Noble, or maybe it was, what was the other one? Borders, but Borders is closed now. And I was like, okay, where's the economics section? And I just picked a book. It ended up being one of his favorite books, and like helped him out so much, and he recommends it. And I was like, sweet. I don't even know how I did that, but I think I made him like a thing for hot chocolate, you know, like got a cute mug and just kind of put something together myself, and maybe dipped a spoon in chocolate. I can't remember exactly. And a few other, like I think I got him another book. We're both avid readers, so I got him some books and some other things, but I really loved it because it forced you to like think outside the box. You know, it's like, okay, how many gifts do we want to get? And we only have $50 to do it. And so it really forced us to do something meaningful. And some of it had to be homemade, because otherwise it was just going to cost too much and go over budget. And so I just really enjoyed it. We kind of were on a honeymoon for Christmas that first year, because we got married in October, but he was in school, so we didn't really go anywhere. It was like we got married on Friday and he was in school on Monday or Tuesday, back at work and all that kind of stuff. And so it was Christmas week that we went and just low-key and went and spent time in a condo and stuff like that for the week, and did some other things. So it was just very like calm, laid back Christmas, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun and just good memories and good. I feel like it's important for us to remember to keep things simple and meaningful, you know, in everything that we're doing, and especially this time of year, that focus on Christ, that focus on family, and really knowing people, because I feel like that's one of the greatest gifts you could give to people, is really knowing them. Okay, so that's my Christmas holiday Q&A, whatever it is, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have questions you'd like me to consider for next year, please put them down in the comments and I'll keep a list. And if you enjoy seeing these videos, give me a thumbs up, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.